Podcast Network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm your girl LD along with my girl Tanisha the Diva Mahomes. What's up, Diva?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. Got
We had
another
a wild week.
Yeah, it was a wild week. How, outside of that, how was your weekend?
Oh man, it was great. It was a great weekend. I had a lot of things I need to take care of. Lawn, I love the grass. I'm a grass woman. I ain't gonna lie. I like the outdoors. So I went out there and got my yard all taken care of. Got my stuff taken. Everything looking good. Look like I could sell it. It's curb appeal.
Okay.
Curb appeal. Got a little curb appeal going on.
All right.
How about you?
I just laid low. It was a lay low weekend for me. Had a little cold, a little under the weather, so I just kind of chilled out. But it was a good lay low weekend because I could watch TV. So I had good live sports on and could watch Sunday. It was a little conflicting because we had the WNBA and NFL. But we're gonna start off. Let's start off with the WNBA playoffs and how everything worked out on Sunday.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
On who?
Did it pan out the way you expected? As far as
it did.
Okay.
It did, and it was like what we talked about. I even not to just bring up Caitlin Clark randomly, but when you get to that next level, I think Pat talked about that. It's a different animal when you have that experience and things like that. So yeah, it panned out. It panned out kind of exactly the way I thought it would, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you think it was status quo, or what do you think?
I thought, yeah, the game. Now I'm gonna talk about the game between Phoenix and the game between Phoenix and the Minnesota Lynx. That surprised me because Minnesota had a good lead, and then all of a sudden the Lynx were right there. They were point behind. They had even gone up, and then they pulled away there within the last 2 minutes of the game. That game surprised me because when I say it surprised me, I didn't expect a blowout. I expected the Lynx to win, but at one point that game was kind of like I thought it was going to get out of hand. I thought it was going to get out of hand. Then it got real tight.
Yeah,
I believe that Minnesota thought it was over too, and then they came back in it. The Aces and Storm didn't really surprise me because they're a good team, and I think the next game coming up between those two is going to be even tighter. But Drew Lloyd didn't have the game that was expected. They didn't shoot the way expected. Gabby didn't do what was expected, but the Aces played well. And they didn't even play as well as expected because Kelsey Plum, she didn't score until the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
The first 2 points in the fourth quarter. I don't even think she hit a three. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that game. I like to see if everybody's clicking. If everybody's clicking, who's going to pull that off? Like I said, Tiffany Hayes, to me, that's the X factor. That's one of the X factors. And she's been playing exceptionally well. Like Tiff said, she was a little, excited. Her mom was there. The first time my mom ever flew to see her play. So that's a game, and I believe that game's on tonight too. That's a game to watch. It's like I'm not giving it. I'm not giving it right away to the Aces and saying they're gonna close it out. But the Aces probably would want to close that game out tonight, not take it to Seattle. I think if you take it to Seattle, it's gonna be really, really tough. So, Dream and the Liberty. Can't say it wasn't anything I didn't expect. Liberty, they're good.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Number one team,
Liberty-ish. That's what
and if they all clicking, and then they had what's her name, Freebach, the rookie for them. She was like the high man, like 20 points. So that was even unexpected. When you get that kind of contribution, and your other ones are still contributing, it's hard to lose a game. And then the Sun and the Sun, and we knew it was gonna be physical, right? The Sun and
Favre.
Yeah, help me out. Say it loud.
Fever.
Yeah, that game was kind of what I expected. Not because the lights were too big for anybody. I don't even think the
Mhm.
lights were too big for Clark. Clark was getting shots, like she said, they just wasn't not going in.
They
I don't
weren't going. They
expect
weren't
that to happen
following.
the next game, but I think that veteranship on that team, and maybe hit 27 points. I don't expect her to do that again. So some
Mm-hmm.
things that went on in that game, but you know what people are capable of. But
Yeah,
Carrington, like I said on that show, that's the glove.
you did. You
She the
called it.
glove, right? And everybody complain, oh, she poked her in the eye. Well, Caitlyn got her back, right? It's like, are they getting each other back? I don't think either one of them was on purpose. I don't see either one of them being malicious, but we'll see. I'm excited for tonight. Sit there, watch, and see what
We're
happens.
gonna watch it together.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So
watch it together
that
tonight.
that
So we'll see.
yeah, and the other ones are tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tomorrow I got some stuff going on, so
Yeah.
hopefully I'm in the mood or
Yeah.
whatever, to watch the games.
I would love to have a recorder there when you come up out of that. You know that this.
Oh, I don't know. I ain't going under. I ain't
Oh,
going
I'm
under.
about to say
No,
because
no, no,
that's
no.
some of the funniest
Because I
videos
couldn't.
ever.
Yeah, I couldn't take myself if I was going under. Nope, it's just a regular needles. When they wear off, you're not too happy. So we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
Um. Okay. Let's jump. Here's something. I,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
think? What you
Trouble
got
in
here?
my way.
These are the three winless teams. Did
Dude,
you expect this?
of course not. Who the hell expected the Bengals to be 0-3? Titans, we talked about that. I said that the Titans had a roster. I mean, you're talking about DeAndre Hopkins, you're talking about Calvin Ridley, and you're talking about Treylon Burks, which is a first round pick. You got 3 first round picks as your wide receiving core, and y'all 0-3.
Yeah. I'm,
We know where to point that finger.
oh, yeah. And I picked them to do
Yeah,
very well.
yeah, we
Um,
talked about it. Remember, I went
and
with you. I said
y'all all
I
thought
was this
y'all all called me
this
crazy.
No, I didn't call you crazy. I said I'm with you. It's just that Will Levis is the glue that holds that together, and I've seen him do some acrobatical type things, if that's a word, that just did not work out. And I'm still trying to understand how you are now in year 2, and even thinking that some of the things that you're doing out there on the field uh belong on the NFL field at all. Like
Well,
it's
he's playing, and I said it last week. Jimmy Johnson said it Sunday.
yeah.
He playing hero ball. Stop playing hero ball. You don't have to. So last week he made a lot of mistakes. You go into the ground, suck it up. You go into the ground, but you're
Just
gonna throw it back, and that's a pick
say,
six. So you
yeah.
got to be smarter. You watch the film from last week, and you're still making the same mistakes.
Dude, I watched this
And
coach, man, get in him. Like
yeah,
that's the first time I've seen a coach get in a quarterback like that in a
yeah.
long
So I
time.
I think they got to. I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. I just think ain't nobody clicking on nothing, and they got a great coach.
But here's the
I
thing,
really like their coach.
and I'm gonna say something that's not gonna be a popular opinion. It's not that I don't think that Will Levis has talent like that. Maybe it's one of those situations like I was staying with Bryce Young. It's like everybody not meant to be thrown immediately out there on the field to handle what's going on. Sometimes you got to develop that quarterback, like Brady was saying. Sometimes you got to develop them, and when you throw them out there, they get their confidence snatched out of them. Because these real men out there on the field, like I watched when Johnny Manziel came into the league, and I watched some of them linemen talk about, well, we're gonna see when he get there because we can read through people, and you can read through confidence, you can read through what somebody pretends, and I feel like when you walk out there on that field with all them veterans, them dudes that's done battle, they can see weakness and they smell it. They say the blood in the water, and Will Levis right now, woo, he bleeding. There's blood in the water, and they see it, and they going and they running
Is
up to
Tannehill
him, and they doing
is
him.
Tannehill still on that team?
Mm-mm.
Where'd he
No.
go? He out the league?
I think he's sitting on the sidelines waiting for Miami to call him.
Oh, he at the house.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Which I mean, I know that was one of the people they considered was for Tua for a backup or whatever the case may be, but they ended up going with Huntley. which
Yeah,
I think is
Tannehill
a
got
good.
history in Miami,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
that
but he
might not
got
work
his.
well,
Yeah,
so maybe he didn't want to go
yeah.
back there. Okay, so what about Jacksonville?
I don't get it.
Because they got good. I know they gave up a lot of players, but
But
I
Christian
mean
Kirk.
Christian Kirk, he got some catches, but that's one player.
But dude, what's crazy is he don't have enough catches. Like, how is Christian Kirk before Calvin Ridley got there was the man? After Calvin Ridley is gone, how are y'all not designing these plays better? What are you doing to like what's going on over
I,
there?
I
That
don't. I think they asked the same question with Terry McLaurin, and we're gonna get to that. Why aren't you designing plays for him? And he said, "I'm gonna be patient. It's gonna happen." There are plays designed for him. Or you think there are plays not designed for Travis Kelce? There are plays, but defenses are taking those plays away. So I think that's it.
fair enough.
You gotta go down to your, that's your first
Yeah.
read. Here's your second read. He ain't got time to get to that second read. So he
Wow.
doesn't look like he did in past years. I don't know if he's, what's going on there, but I do
So
think corrections will be made because I have confidence in that coaching staff.
well, I will say this. I think Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that we know has the talent, we know has the skills, we know has uh and at least I feel like that about Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what's going on right now. Anybody can get in a slump or rut because we're gonna talk about the next guy, which is your guy. You know what I mean? The one that you like so much. Sometimes things just aren't clicking. Um, Maybe that's what's going on, but it's hard to make the playoffs starting off 0-3.
Okay, we can move to the Bengals. I don't think Joe Burrow ain't doing nothing wrong to me. They just getting outplayed on the other side.
Well,
Boy played well last night.
I'm not.
The
That's
Commanders
what I was
played well
saying.
last night.
I'm
But
not.
yeah, go
I'm not
ahead.
saying that, but people are starting to kind of come with Joe. I'm with you. I don't believe that it's Joe. I mean,
Not when you put up
I've
33
watched
points.
I've watched many shows and they like, well, Joe, we got to stop making excuses for Joe
Because
Burrow.
they always gonna blame a quarterback.
That's what I'm
But
about
Joe
to
put up
say.
33 points last night. Your defense gave up 38.
Yeah,
So
true story.
they were clicking.
True
Daniels was
story.
looking good. Him and McLaurin, they were clicking because people were talking last week, the week
Oh
before.
yeah,
They didn't
it
score
was.
a touchdown. They beat the Giants without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah,
They
that was
scored on every position. Oh, excuse me, every possession last week,
let it
except
go,
for the
dude.
one where he had to take a knee.
Mm-hmm.
He looked
Yeah,
very good. He looked very
yeah,
good.
he did, and I was
Yeah.
glad to hear that because I'm a DFS person, and I got sick and tired of hearing everybody talk about how this guy can't throw a pass and this and this, and I was
Well,
like,
anybody that
dude,
was saying that didn't watch him play at LSU. So I mean, you don't win the Heisman Trophy and you can't throw a pass. So
exactly,
that was just
it was too much.
well.
Yeah.
I know you and Pat and all y'all got different theories about Cliff Kingsbury. But I'm like, Cliff,
Mm-hmm.
let him loose. If you let him loose, the boy can play. And he finally let him loose this week. So I don't know if he
Yeah,
was just trying to feel him out because them little drop, those passes that he was making, that's not gonna win you no games, which
yeah.
it didn't.
We talked about it live when it was going on.
Yeah.
I
So
let take the
right, you got Terry
shackles off
McLaurin
of
and
it.
you ain't throwing him the ball. I don't know what's going on. So
Let's get it going.
yeah, and they look good. They look like a formidable team. So we'll, you know, excuse me, we'll see what happens there.
Mhm.
That one of the games that surprised me, I ain't gonna say surprised me because
Mm-hmm.
I ain't with your boy. New Orleans. I think New Orleans Saints came back down to earth.
I think I'm gonna go against you as usual, and I'm gonna say when it come to this cat, he had a bad game. Now, what will say this that scared me a little bit, which hasn't in a while with Carr, is that what they did was they put it on Carr to make those plays to beat him, and
He
he
ain't
just
that
couldn't.
dude.
Yeah, he came up short. I'm hoping it was a bad week. I know you always say he ain't that dude, but
He when they
I
show
believe
you
in
who they
Carr.
are, believe it, right?
Believe them. They are who they thought they were.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing.
I
Don't get
know.
me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't think New Orleans is a bad team. I do think New
No,
Orleans
no.
can win that division. So I'm
Well,
not
I
putting
put
them out
money
there.
on it.
I just don't think Carr is the person. I never have with the team or the tools and whatever the players he had, the roster he had, is the dude to get you to the promised land.
In
I'm
one
not.
week. That's what I'm going with.
It
It
is.
was
It is. It's 1
1
week because
week.
you know me. I'm
We
a
gonna
Chris
see him
Olave
next
fan.
week.
I couldn't
I know.
understand why he wasn't throwing it to him last year. So he decided to throw it to this year. Maybe
I had Shaheed at 0 points. I almost threw up in my mouth.
Yeah. So Philly, on the other hand, I mean, they're dealing with some injuries. They're gonna deal with some more now because AJ Brown is out and
Woo! And Devontae.
Devontae
Woo!
Smith took a nasty hit. Hopefully he's okay. But because that was
Yeah.
ugly. And I'm
Yeah.
happy they didn't show it again. Because when I saw
Yeah.
it live, I was like, oh, that's a whole lot. So hopefully
Which is
he's doing better. But that's
yes.
impactful. Because
Shout out to the camera crew.
that's sure hands.
We've talked about that, how you just keep replaying something that's
Yeah, I think they've gotten smarter. I think
so I
people have
think
been
they're
playing. And
getting
plus,
better.
they may have showed it during that game. We were on the NFL red zone. So they may have shown it. And I'm glad NFL red zone chose not to keep going back to that. But he's key. He's come on, that's a Heisman winner.
That's rough.
Right? That's hands right there. And so even without AJ Brown, they could still win games. I don't know who else they're gonna bring in there with AJ, or maybe AJ
it's gonna be a whole lot on Saquon.
Yeah, but you still gotta. If everybody knows you're gonna run, they stop the run.
I'm saying it's gonna be a whole lot on Saquon, and I think it's gonna be a whole lot of Jalen tush pushing, and
well, they didn't use the tush push. They had a 4th and he went for it. I can't remember what it was. 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and they didn't tush push. They decided to go out. They just don't seem like they're comfortable with it. I don't know if that's because Kelsey ain't there or whatever.
Yeah, it is because he's not there.
But they did it last week, and they were successful doing it last week.
It's gonna take the new set. It's gonna take them a minute for them to get that confidence in them.
But they did it last week in the game and did it fine. That's what you practice. So you practice it. Ain't nobody seen it.
What we don't see is what look like in practice. Maybe it worked in the game and it's not looking like they wanted to look in practice.
Or maybe he outsmarted himself and said, "Hey, everybody thinks I'm going to do this, and I'm going to send Saquon out else." Right? Sometimes coaches overthink it. Yeah. And, I'm not. Sirianni's not high on my list.
Old boy over there. What's that kind of LeVay?
Who?
Over in the Ram. The LA over there. He's an overthinker too.
He is. Now he didn't overthink it on Sunday. What do you think? I think the 49ers.
I don't know.
They got to get healthy and get healthy quick. Because everything they did still lose that game.
Mm-hmm. More importantly, Purdy is my quarterback, so I'm gonna need everything to work out for me.
Well, he looked human. I mean, you got them. The Ravens came through. I don't know what is going on.
Don't you even do it. Let me jump in.
I'm not gonna dog them out. I don't know.
No. I'm just gonna say. I know what the problem is.
Okay.
We got worse in the off season.
Oh shit! That's easy to say, but
hell, you act like it's
worse. Where?
It's hell everywhere. We overpaid. We didn't sign people when we needed to.
No, just tell me where. I ain't talking about money. Where did you get worse?
I'm telling you.
In what position?
Because of money, like running back.
Okay.
Like Derrick Henry was down there in Dallas working out, trying to make it no secret that he wanted to be a Cowboy.
Okay.
And then I had to watch Jerry get on TV talking about, well, we didn't have the fun. Yeah, you did. If you had paid CeeDee Lamb when he was supposed to get paid, and you had paid Dak before everybody else signed, and his number was astronomical, you could afford it, Derrick Henry.
So running back.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Hell, I would like a better receiving core. I mean, I love CD and I love Cooks, really. And then we got, which I think are, let me what's the word I'm gonna use here? Gadget guys, Turpin. Okay. We got some gadget guys, but yeah, you could have went and got somebody. He always doing shit. First of all, we should have never let Amari Cooper go for a sandwich in a bag of chips.
Okay, you're going way back. We talking about from last year to this year.
Because I'm a fan. Okay. And what I'm saying is it's been a culmination of stuff where you just keep doing raggedy crap. And now we have, I don't want to say our window is past, but it is real looking like it has passed. We are not where we need to be. We giving up points left and right. And CD was having a holdout. Him and Dak ain't on the same page. He's rusty. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to hold out for your money when you know damn well we gonna sign CD Lamb. Like, give him his money and let's get him in camp and get him right. We're rusty. And I think this has a lot to do with the Bengals rust. You got people holding out at camp. You're not doing what you're supposed to do, getting them their salary so you can get them gelling. And now, them first couple of games, they got to get back in sync.
Okay, we're going to jump off of them because you go off on them all day long.
Right,
Do you think the Ravens look good?
Good enough.
Okay.
Hell.
Good enough to what? To beat the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Could they beat anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just saying good enough.
Just same way that they started off. They knocking the rust off of it a little bit. You got a bunch of new pieces over there as well.
Okay.
But at least they showed up at camp.
Okay. All right. So let's move on from that. Vikings.
I love Sam Darnold. You know how I feel.
You said it from the beginning, and I wasn't convinced.
And I'm so glad that there's no structural damage in that knee. That it went down there. That came out, no structural damage in the knee. You know, I love Sam Darnold. I always thought they gave up on him too soon. I saw plenty of flashes over his career to let him know, that he was the guy. He got some bad breaks. I see goals, all that nonsense. But at the end of the day, the talent is real. It was really, USC is real, period. And now we're getting to see him in a good environment where he has got good pieces around him, and he looks like the Sam Darnold that we all knew he could be, or at least I knew he could be.
You knew he could be. I was never convinced of him. I thought Sam Darnold played better in Carolina than I thought at any time. And I thought they would make a bad move by letting him go because they had got Bryce in.
The biggest thing with Sam Darnold is, you remember, if you remember, he had a lot of illnesses. Remember, he had mono and he was missing time, and it was a lot of crazy stuff going on in his career that caused a lot of disruption. But as far as the talent, I always knew, to me, he always had that skill set to be a NFL starting quarterback, a franchise quarterback, in my opinion.
Okay.
And those intangibles have always been there for me. And I'm just glad that people are actually now getting to see that cat get to do what he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rams came back and pulled one out on the 49ers. Like we said, I don't know if they can overcome those injuries. And it seems like we're getting a few more.
It's too many. Kittle, Sims, come on now.
Yeah.
Christian, come on now. And then what's going on with Mason?
I don't know. I heard him call his name. I mean, they called it a few times. I haven't heard it was like that one night a fluke. I don't know. So
I don't know either.
Yeah, there's certain teams I look at and I say, okay, this person, we've seen this person do this. And I know the other teams, the opposing teams are going to watch film and figure out how to countermeasures for that. But it's like, damn, coach, you just go away from that. Like I say, I've always thought Shanahan was a guy who tried to outsmart himself. He proved that to me when he lost the Super Bowl in Atlanta. So you choked, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm the quarterback, I'm calling the timeout and saying, what are you calling?
I mean, you done went 3 times and came up short.
Yeah. So
every time it's been every time it's been some weird stuff. I decided to not run the ball. I didn't really fully
understand the rules of overtime. It's a lot of stuff that's going on that has to do with coaching because you have talent. So I'm just not. I'm not sold on him.
But let's give Jennings some props for going out there and just.
Jennings played well.
That's what I'm saying. Let's give him.
Yeah, he played well. He played well. Jennings played well in the Super Bowl. Yep. All for naught. Because if you ain't got a coach that's going to help you close it out, it does not matter. So I don't know. They got to fix some stuff.
And here's the real kicker. I don't think that Christian McCaffrey is coming back after 4 weeks.
I don't either. That's Achilles and calf. That's a bad combination.
Yeah. CC.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
He's out. That's out. And when you talk about your Achilles, you remember when KD was getting ready to play basketball, and they was like, oh, it's his calf. And then next thing you know, he went to shoot and it was his Achilles.
No, they knew it was his Achilles. They put him back in the game to play. He had a strained Achilles or whatever, and then he came back in and popped it. Remember? And they were like, because some of the fans were like, yeah.
But that initial report is calf. And every time you talking about a calf, I'm like, come on now. We already know what you're talking about.
The Bills. Let's talk about the Bills.
Oh man,
I
Josh
don't
Allen is
know.
impressive.
Yeah, I mean the Jaguars look bad, so I don't know if I'm giving the Bill and the Miami that
No,
debacle they had. Two of them games, I'm not sold on
let
the
me
Bills yet.
let me just jump in.
Hmm.
So I think it's a situation like where, like Lil Pat was playing with not quite the upscale wide receiving core. Sometimes that brings something out. You got to get creative and you play calling. You got to get everybody involved. And then you got guys that's been probably sitting there and thinking everything is designed for Diggs. So everything is designed. Now everybody got a shot. Whoever's open is getting the ball. That changes that locker room a little bit. But
Hmm.
I love what I'm seeing from Josh Allen and the Bills right now. Like literally, I love it. And then right now, they look extremely dangerous because he's using everybody. You don't know who the hell finna get the touchdown. Like the dude is, and then Josh Allen would run up on you. Now I did notice he must be a little bit hurt because he wasn't being quite as
That
crazy as
hand, that
normal.
hand, you see how the hand
Yeah,
is taped
yeah,
up in the glove that he
yeah,
had on. I think
yeah.
something's going on there.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit more than what we thinking, but I like what I'm seeing. And right now, to me, he's like the front runner for the MVP.
I can't even give a front runner for MVP 3 weeks in, and based on who they
Well,
played,
I'm going.
Miami and
That's
the
what I'm
and the
doing.
and the Jaguar. I need to see him play somebody. If he can do the same thing against playing somebody, then
Hmm.
I mean, what's their next game? The next game is against who?
Let me do a quick check.
Yeah, we'll get that. But you got to play somebody for me to be. And when I say somebody, Jaguars look like garbage. So I think we
You
said they
didn't
were
hit him with the
playing the
garbage, did you, Linda?
Carolina, huh?
You didn't hit him with the garbage, did you?
Yeah,
Straight
they
garbage.
got hmm.
Straight garbage. Did
Yeah,
Jags look
they
like
played the
garbage?
Jags. The next game is against the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'll judge him
Okay.
after he plays the Ravens.
Well, yeah. If you are going to say that the Ravens are where they need to be, are you saying that you agree that the
I think
Ravens
the
are
Ravens are getting better week by week,
okay?
and they got some confidence on the road
Because if they
last
go up
week,
in
so they're
there and
coming
they put
back.
their foot up in the Ravens' ass,
They're coming back home. If that I said I got to see after the game.
no, 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 I'm just saying, is
I
that
don't
going to be
know. It
enough?
depends on what happens
Okay,
in the Ravens game. If it's the
but
running game, if it's Cook scoring, if it's him passing the ball, I don't know. So I can't say until I see the Ravens game. It ain't passed the litmus test for me yet, based on who
mm-hmm,
they played.
got you.
Yeah, based on who they play. So I mean, I
It's
want to
just
see
the,
that.
the level of the team so far. They
Yeah,
haven't,
yeah. The
yeah.
competition ain't been on par. The Chiefs and
Woo.
Atlanta. I mean, he said it himself. Patrick did not look good to me.
Yeah, he
Don't know
ain't
what
look
was going on. Did not look
he
good.
he has not looked good for 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
To me, maybe I'm harsh on him because of his aunt, but I know what Pat is capable of, and I think that right now it's more of a touch. He doesn't seem to have touch on the ball right now. He'll work past it. I I
Oh,
I, I can't I
I
can't
have
imagine
no.
that he wouldn't. But
Yeah.
right now, it just seemed like his touch is off on the ball, and these things happen. But yeah, he didn't look good. But that's why it's a team game. Like he always says, we got a whole group of people to step up when you lacking. But they are 3-0, and then my whole
Yeah.
thing
And
is if
that's
they're 3-0
the
with him
scary
playing
part.
like this, yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, Heaven forbid when he actually
Yeah.
get back to
And
being Pat.
Kelsey ain't done much. So
Not,
when you
yep,
say
both of them
right, they 3-0, and those two really
hadn't
haven't
got.
done their thing yet.
Yeah,
That's that other
it's
team should
scary.
be afraid, right? Regardless of who
Scary.
thinks it's the officials, is that yeah, there was some
I ain't
calls
worried
the
about it.
officials missed. They missed on both sides.
They
There
miss
was
on both
one,
sides.
yeah, there was one blatant call though. It was like, good God, how do you not
Yeah,
call that? But
no,
it's just like others said. Yeah, you did. You got the 15 yards on the Chris Jones no roughing the
to get
passer,
there.
right? To
Yeah,
get there, but then you gotta you gotta make those plays too. And I'm
yeah.
I get the reason I say that, I don't say it because Chiefs. I say it because it happens to every team.
Every team.
And
Yeah.
that was a pass interference. There's no doubt to me that was a pass interference. Nobody can tell me anything different. But
Yeah, I was watching one of the shows, and the coach so Bill Parcells, I think he was talking about the fact that that call gets not called, but yes, it was absolutely, because people think because he didn't turn his head around. Well, you technically don't have to turn your head around. He was saying that that's what the rule book says, but we can all agree that that hug he gave him,
Because you know who is great? Who is
To let
great
him know how you
at
loved him.
doing that? Getting that call? Travis
Mhm.
Kelce. One of the best. He knows how to come back to a ball, even if he ain't gonna catch it. He
And
knows how to
Evans
come
as
back to
well.
it and get that call.
And Mike
So
Evans. They're they're
yes,
they're two of the best
yep.
at doing it.
So they missed it. They
Hmm.
missing a whole lot.
Yeah.
They missing
Yeah.
the holdings, the this and the that that's going on inside. Everybody holding every play. I'm not looking
Yeah.
for those plays where it's just
Where it's
two people
egregious.
and you see them. It's like, come on, you got to throw that flag.
Yep.
Somebody pull it out, but they
Yep.
didn't do it. So
I'm with you.
um, I want to go to the Giants. We got to win.
I was about to say, go on and hit the bleed
You know
blue,
me.
Linda.
I'm
Hit the
not.
bleed blue, Linda.
Huh?
Hit the bleed. I
Absolutely.
bleed. That go on and get a man a little bit of props because he
Absolutely.
played.
Absolutely. No,
How did Danny
not
play?
one. Just like you said earlier, it's one game. We're not doing that.
But did Danny do good this one game?
Yeah, he did. It's one game.
I'm
One
just
game.
saying, it's a man
I'm looking. This what I'm waiting on. This might happen.
that.
That's what I can't. I celebrated Sunday. I was all here.
Oh, the,
I celebrated Sunday. I was
oh,
there. It was
I
happening.
know,
I
I
was
know.
all in on
I'm just
Sunday.
saying, oh, Danny Dimes ain't lived up to his name.
Now and then I know next week I could be just like this.
Oh Lord,
All doom and gloom. I don't. I love Neighbors. I love
that
what
shit
Neighbors
with
is
the
doing, and maybe Neighbors is giving him something where he's like, yeah,
Cowboys. Do that for
okay,
the
I got that
Cowboys.
dude, huh?
Do that for the Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
We need to be. You need to
y'all
be
look crazy.
with a
I
rainstorm.
the
Look a
defense,
hot mess.
the defense was all over. Watson 7 sacks. That
Man.
defense looked really good, and what happened was they took advantage of it, and got some
Talking about
points.
Lamar. Yeah, but it.
I'm talking about us. No, I'm talking about the
No,
Giants.
oh, okay,
I
with the
ain't go
Giant.
back to
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I
yeah, I
thought
ain't
you
go
was
back to
back.
Dallas. I'm
Okay.
talking about our defense got 7 sacks.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
he's showing everybody who he is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
He is that dude.
He's that dude. He's playing well. So we'll see. We'll see how
Yeah.
far that goes. Thursday night, it's me and you.
Yes, it is.
It's me and you. We'll see what
Yes, it is.
happens
It's gonna
Thursday
be the
night.
best. I love those games though. Those are the good games.
You like it because y'all be stomping a hole in us.
Well, that's one take. That's one take.
Fields. Fields, I want to address this before we go.
He will be
Fields.
starting next week. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, because they saying I'm looking at. They say Russell Wilson is still limited in practice. I'm looking at it right now, so he's still limited in
Yeah.
practice. They're not going to bring him back before they need to bring him back. And you 3-0, but
Why
you go
would you?
4-0.
This often reminds me of the Romo situation with Dak. Romo gets speared in the back. Dak goes out there and starts winning. Romo doesn't play ever again.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm saying that you don't fix what's not broke. Okay, they winning. However they winning, they still winning. At
Right.
the end
So
of the
your
day,
thing
they
is
winning.
that's what I'm asking you. 4-0. Do you
Yeah.
bring Russell Wilson back?
Nope.
No. Okay. Cool.
Nope.
Christian
No, you do
McCaffrey.
not.
He's over in
And you know how much I
Germany.
love Russell.
Yeah, by the way, Christian McCaffrey, he's over in Germany. So that Achilles is bad. He's looking at a specialist, somebody that specializes in that. Tendonitis ain't doing nothing. Waiting for that.
And let's
I hate it for him.
have this conversation because you and I always talk about this. Players who are elite at their position going out there and playing broke down when they don't need to do that.
I don't think he will.
If Christian McCaffrey can't play this year, it doesn't matter because he's still Christian McCaffrey next year healthy.
Right.
Why would you risk that? We talked about that. We talked about it with Baker. We talked about it with Marcus Mariota. We talked about all these people who play when they're injured. I hope that the 49ers got enough sense to let Christian McCaffrey heal properly.
I think Christian
put him back on
McCaffrey
the
has
field.
enough sense to let himself heal properly. That's why he's in Germany and not just sitting around waiting for stuff. He's looking for a solution to his problem. The right solution.
Right
and then maybe a doctor to say,
absolutely.
yeah, we can do this, this, and this. And you sit out. I have no idea. Anything I would say would be purely speculation.
Yeah.
The last thing, this is my closing thought for this week. And I took off our thing with our closing thoughts, but my closing thought for this week is around it's new news, and it's around Brett Farvre.
Oh, you got me. That's mine
Um,
too.
okay, so
We can
we
do
can
it
share
together.
this and we could talk about it. I'm not and haven't been because of some of the things that he did. Um, but I'm not a Brett Favre fan, but he was announced today he has Parkinson. So I hope and pray that he gets through. I mean, there's no cure for it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever happens, I don't know if they said we don't know, right? Until after they pass, if it's even related to
CTEs.
football, CTE related or not. I think we're gonna try to get somebody that's very well versed in that.
Lee Steinberg.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get Lee on the show so we can start talking about that. Do a little special episode and start talking about that. I just it's sad, and if it is related, it's really sad. It's just like
Yeah.
I some things you just can't you can't beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Can't.
ahead. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think he went in before Congress and everything, and I think he said something about it's too late for me or whatever, and man, that really kind of pricked me because
Mm-hmm.
Brett Farvre gave a lot to the game, but in the same sense, it also pricked me in a way because of Tua and what's going on present day right now, and what we see and going on with Tua with the
Right.
concussions and everything. And just to see this is a guy who left a legacy, on the field and everything. But at the end of the day, he's still a young man, and now is dealing with what I truly believe is the after effects of playing the sport that he loves. Um, I really don't have anything other than the fact that he will be in my prayers. His family will be in my prayers. Like I said, setting everything aside, you always want somebody to wish health, good health and everything. And I was just really saddened to hear that he's suffering from Parkinson.
Right.
I
And I
really am.
said, and the reason I said the part I did say about me not being a big fan of his in
Mhm.
football has nothing to do with this is all about life.
It is,
Right. So
and
I,
we can
I said that
separate.
on purpose. Right. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody.
Absolutely. And what
Right.
do
And
we always end with?
we shouldn't. And that's right. You got to be kind and be blessed. It'll come back to you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like we see these players go out there and get hurt and do this and do
Mhm.
that. And this is entertainment for us. It's
It
entertainment.
really
We're out
is.
there enjoying it. There's things that are going on in their lives or whatever that we don't know about. And I'm guilty. I've been on here.
Well,
We done beat people down. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And you got to think about it. You say, "Ooh, I don't know what's going on with that person." Like we said last week with, Daniel Jones, with people standing outside booing him. As much as he pisses me off playing, that's a bit much. He's a human being. I said that last
absolutely.
week. I'll say it. You know, he could throw 8 interceptions next week. I'm gonna say the same thing. You don't do that to a
Still a
person.
human.
So, but we do. We pray for all that are suffering, but just doing it. This is sports. Brett Favre and his family
Yeah,
praying for their
absolutely.
well-being. But
Absolutely.
that's
And
the closing thing. But like I said, I don't know how many days I need to have a countdown calendar. I know I got my ballot. Let's vote, people.
come on, I don't what I tell you last time, you ought to be walking down the street and your air get cut off if you're not voting. I'm real strong with that. You just
Yeah.
it's just gone. You need to get up there and vote, because if you vote, you have no reason to. If you don't vote, you don't have any reason to complain.
No.
So all you got to do is go out there and cast your vote. Who cares who you're voting for? But you at least voice your opinion in the ballot box where you can,
Because it counts.
where it matters. Where it
Right.
matters.
If you think it doesn't count, it does. So please go out there and vote. And like we always say, please be kind, be blessed. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.